Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's click this button and get into the thing. There, I almost hit stop streaming out of habit. That would have been a very silly thing to do. And we do also have the glorious ones and magnificent twos of DJ Katie making making it happen, pushing it forward into the new millennium, spinning on into the future. So we were fixing all this fucking broken furniture. I actually think all the furniture in here should be okay. But I was kind of just using that as an excuse to push another walking tour. Because I haven't... She's at least a 2. You're a 10. Don't ever let anyone tell you different, especially not me. But nope. No, these are still broken. So that's super cool. Why can't I pick that up? Because I have too much stuff. I went out and collected a whole bunch of woods so that I wouldn't have to fucking deal with this. With not having wood when I fucking needed it. Used to hear that from all kind of people when they thought you had a slant. I'm sorry, what? People were calling you a 2? Oh, people were calling you a 10. I hate when I need wood that don't have it. Well, you're in luck. The federal government has decreed that Viagra is just a thing you can get for a reasonable price. Unlike insulin. The hell was I doing? Furniture. Yeah, I'm not here. You might have heard it in the background, but Katie is trying to play music and it's not going. There it is. Yeah, Minecraft IKEA. I don't think I've mentioned it before. All of the furnitures I do come from a single mod pack. Let me bring it up so I can plug them because I really like it a lot. Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod. It's just enough types of furniture to make a place look good without a whole bunch of weird stuff that you don't need. What do we need? 4 chairs and 2 tables? Oh god. Sure, thank you. Thank you, Minecraft. New recipes unlocked. Hey, did you know that you can make that thing you just made? Yup. Yup, I sure did, Minecraft. I knew. I'm glad you decided to stop in, Andy. I thought you might have been a little too tired from your Overwatch excursions. Come on, just whenever you're fucking ready. And there we go. You needed a wind down? Well, good. I'm happy that I can do that for you. It is a very chill stream. I used to, my community used to involve chill streams before I decided to ditch that for, like, Mastodon and variety streaming. This and Katie's superb music collection is perfect while you wrap up chore things. Yeah? That's why I married her. Not because she's beautiful or intelligent or, good at sports. Yeah, it's all about the music. She is beautiful and intelligent and good at sports, I presume. It's a lot worse than an arrow to the knee. Yeah, to take some crazy random example from absolutely out of the ether, unconnected to anything. Okay, so I went and got all that wood very specifically so we could go out and do this. Hey, Pika. Because I remember last time we didn't actually finish this. Oh, speaking of stuff that's unfinished, this is totally just not filled in. I've meant to fill it in for quite a while now. I've just never done it. Alright, let's get in here and chop all this apart. Oh, check it out. I totally built the wrong table a while ago. That's good. This is all, let's see, woods. And let's make some more. I think we're gonna need more than, I think we're gonna need at least 12, so let's just set those down. And then if we need more, we can come back. That's what I like about every single one of these places having crafting tables in it, which is something I'm very adamant about when I make houses. You can just put stuff in. You can get it done from everywhere. Okay, it looks like I tore most of the clay and stuff down here already, so there's not going to be a lot of pickaxing I have to do. Well, prove me wrong then, motherfucker. Go ahead. Awful son of a bitch. Right, if I ever build a tag swine locker room, it's just, you know, duplication of labor. One of them could be the 3-man apocalypse. That's perfect. Apparently built 2 of the wrong table. So I wonder if there was some issue that's making those not display right either. That's good. I like that. Did I get in here? No, I did not. 3-man apocalypse, so of course a lot better version of the 3-man band. It's maybe too obscure and many aren't for most people to fully appreciate. Yeah, I think maybe a little bit. There's only so deep I can ask people to go with these references, right? The hell do I need here? 4 tables? And holy hell, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Yeah, 9. Oh, that's great. Way to do that. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you. I'm never gonna be tired of this fucking thing popping up. Did I say tired? I meant good. I'm never gonna be good with this stupid fucking thing popping up. Yeah, exactly. So I might as well explain it. There's no good reason why I shouldn't. I call Roadhog the 3-to-1 Marnie as a Homestar Runner reference to one very quick quote in a strong bad email. And because when you select him and he goes out into the world, he says, "I'm a one-man apocalypse." That's a bad Roadhog, but you get it. So yeah, that's how deep that goes. Too fuck deep. Right, and then there's the intersection with the wrestling, because there was the 3-man band. Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew Galloway, who was Drew McIntyre? in WWE? Yeah, because he's Drew McIntyre again. We just cleared that out. I'm pretty happy about that. They were a comedy wrestling trio who claimed to be a band, never sung any songs, and always lost. They had my favorite comedy moments of the year when they fought against Los Matadores. Los Matadores being two Cuban guys in Spanish bullfighter outfits and a little person in a bull costume. And they kept trying to capture El Torito, the miniature bull. It's completely nonsensical racism, yes. There's a reason I don't watch WWE anymore, and it's because of shit like this. Watch Chikara instead, friends. Sign up to Chikara Live's YouTube channel. I think they're going to be playing games every Friday now, which is fucking incredible. I have no idea what that's going to be like. Oh no, that's not the Ludacris one. That's just kind of everyday, like, run-of-the-mill WWE shit. So, here's the bad one. So there's a dude called Santino Marella. He doesn't work for the WWE anymore. But he was a Canadian guy who played an Italian guy with a deeply Italian, fake Italian accent for reasons. That's not something I want to get into because that's not the Ludacris part. That's not the Ludacris part. So his finisher is the Cobra, where he would put a sock on his hand and then pretend it's a snake and then whack someone in the face with his pointed fingers as though the snake were biting them. And this would knock out their opponent. So he was in a tag team match. No, I see your dots. I'm not done. I'm not done speaking. It's just going to get worse. So he was in a match against the three-man band with, I forget who the third person was, but it was the great Khali, who is a man from India. He is absolutely huge, hence the name. And it gets to near the end of the match, and Santino pulls out his sock Cobra, and then from the side of the ring... Oh, this is a fridge now. So that's good. It's supposed to be an end table. I love how much this got broken. So from the side of the ring, Jinder Mahal of Three-Man Band comes up, holding a flute, and starts charming the snake, because he, of course, is also from India. And that's what they do there. They charm snakes with flutes. And Great Khali got up on the other apron and began to charm the snake in the other direction with a flute of his own that he had just on his person, because Indian people, they just carry flutes everywhere in case they need them. It was very funny. It was also really fucking racist. And, short version, that's why I don't watch WWE anymore. Am I okay if we talk about the Goldust Film Company thing? Yeah. So the thing that actually, like, got me away from WWE was, Goldust is a established character. He's very good. He's a weird guy. Right, Dustin Rhodes, he's played by, and the character is very weird. He's obsessed with Hollywood, and he's got this production company, the Shattered Dreams Productions, and yeah. Your grand exposure to wrestling is like one Royal Rumble ages and ages ago, and then the show Glow. Yeah. Honestly, just watching the Rumble every year probably isn't a bad way to consume WWE's content. The short circuit version of this, I guess, is, yeah, you can explain. Do you want to just get on mic? Yeah, we're in Mumble It. You could just hit the button. We would have to cut off music for a second. But I think you're going to explain it better than I am. Oh, here's all of our broken chairs, by the way. Look at all this shit. I spent so much time and energy, and it's all gone now.
Alright, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Alright, that means they should be able to hear me. You can hear me, Andy?
Let's dump some of this stuff.
Andy? Faint.
Oh, no, that's my fault because I have you,
Way down for the music.
yeah.
So turn me up for a sec.
Turn the music up into my headphones. I got no snare. Try it now.
Alright, is this better?
That's a little too loud. Let me double adjust. That's gonna be about right, I think. Hey Xenon, we are fixing furniture in Minecraft and my wife Katie is about to rant about professional wrestling. There's a reason I married her.
Okay, so hopefully y'all can hear me now. Gold Dust, and again, by all accounts, the people who play Gold Dust and R-Truth are lovely people, okay? But Gold Dust, the character, is like effeminate guy who, at
You
this
need to
point,
speak up a little more, you keep cutting out.
I am talking very loudly.
Okay.
How about now? Is this better with the mic close to my mouth?
Yeah, it is.
All right. So, by all accounts, Gold Dust and R-Truth are very lovely people in real life, the people who play them. And for a while, they were sneakily playing a very cute couple. All right, Gold Dust would help R-Truth out of the dumb situations he got himself into. And then Gold Dust had one of the nonsensical heel turns that WWE has been known for a long time, where he basically just says, oh, we're losing a lot, therefore I'm going to turn on my husband and beat the shit out of him for like 12 minutes for no reason. Because I want to win, I guess. And fucking, he goes into this Golden Films, I forgot what he called it, and they both become like
It's Shattered Dreams Productions.
Shattered Dreams Productions, right? Because that's
the
his
thing he
old
used to
brand.
do,
That's
yeah.
what he always used to do. And, you know, that's fine. And they're having these back and forth in decent promos. Like, Goldie is saying how he wants to win an Oscar and all this, and R-Truth is doing the exploitation film stuff. And
He's
just
like
being
quoting Jules from Pulp Fiction. It's really great.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's not as good as what they were doing before, but it's cute. And then Gold Dust decides to go on a rant about how he's the bad guy, but you only hate him because he's different and you don't understand. While, of course, being the most arrogant, evil, narcissistic prick he can be. And then he quotes Caitlyn Jenner at the end. This Caitlyn Jenner's buckle up, buckaroos, you know, that fucking thing she says. And like, oh, that was bizarrely transphobic.
It was pretty gross. Yeah.
And my wife here is openly trans.
Yep.
So, you know,
It's hard to be more open.
that was very disconcerting, and I literally just stood up, turned off the TV, and said we are unsubscribing from their service, and we did.
And I absolutely agreed with that because I don't want to give my money to a place like that.
And then after we've unsubscribed, and many people are unsubscribing at this point, they started just losing subscribers, and I'm very thankful for that people stood up. And then there's this guy named James Ellsworth. He is an incredible performer. I think he's one of the best talents that the company's ever had. He's amazing, and he's playing the fall guy. He's an idiot. He's a goofball who thinks he's better than he is. What Vince McMahon and a lot of people apparently didn't realize is that the character that James Ellsworth was playing was Vince McMahon. And that, to me, was incredible. He'd go out there, he'd claim that he was doing the best thing for the company, he'd claim that he was the best there ever was, he'd take credit for things he didn't do, and he'd just go out and fuck everything up. And it was amazing. And then they had James Ellsworth win the first ever women's tables, ladders, and chairs match. No, it was Money in the Bank.
It was Money in the Bank, yes.
They had him go out there and win the women's Money in the Bank. And I'd always made the joke that John Layfield was going to be the first ever male women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
Because he accidentally said it a few times, like multiple times. He said he wanted to be the women's champion and then went back on it because John Layfield's kind of an idiot.
So what's important about this is that WWE has a very poor track record, especially recently with its women's division. Ladies in WWE haven't been treated very well for a variety of reasons. They're kept othered very well. There are such things as like intergender matches where men and women are in the same match, but the rules are if a woman tags out, then the other woman also is automatically tagged out because a man can't ever hit a woman. And that sounds noble, sort of, but the upshot of that is that it enforces the idea that men and women aren't on equal footing, which sucks. WWE they're never in the ring at the same time. WWE in the 1990s, the late 90s, was built on the backs of very strong women who would go out and mix it up with any motherfucker.
That's why Vince despised Chyna.
Yeah.
During the Attitude Era, Chyna stepped forward and said, I deserve to be the World Heavyweight Champion. And she went out, and because it was the Attitude Era, Vince had given up a lot of power very unwillingly to the stars. And everyone decided in a writing meeting that Chyna was going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. That's why Vince hates Chyna. You will hear about that at some point, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
He refuses to put her in the Hall of Fame because she insisted that he was being a piece of shit, basically. He's got other reasons that he comes up with, like, oh, she was in porn, which she posed semi-nude for Playboy.
No, she posed fully nude for
did
Playboy,
she pose fully nude?
Nude?
That shouldn't fucking matter.
No, it absolutely doesn't matter.
Especially since Tori Wilson's done the same thing, and he doesn't hate her.
Yeah, a lot of their people posed fully nude, and a lot of their female stars at the time posed nude in Playboy. That was kind of the thing.
Uh-huh. In any case, back to James Ellsworth. Oh, man. So James Ellsworth goes up the ladder. He wins the match. He interferes with the match and just literally hands the Money in the Bank briefcase to Carmella, he's her manager, supposedly. Like, that's the characters they're doing. He thinks they've created this thing where obviously Carmella is the one who's actually running the show, and Ellsworth is just standing on her back, which is what Vince is doing to his children. Well, not anymore, because he kicked his children out of the picture because they were more successful than him. But, oh, family politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fucking
I should show you that match against Vince versus Stephanie sometime because it's horrible.
And so yeah, Ellsworth wins that, and there's an absolute uproar from the fans. They start leaking subscriptions again. I'm trying to come up with the word that I need there.
Siphoning, hemorrhaging.
Hemorrhaging, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, sweetie. They start hemorrhaging subscriptions. They're losing people, so they turn around and they say, okay, we're going to redo it. Like, that's fucking good enough. And blah, blah, blah. Carmella wins fair and square. None of that matters, because the next Ellsworth plotline that Vince proposes is that Ellsworth is going to become a trans woman.
Yeah, and fight at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's Championship.
Now, Ellsworth is a stand-up guy. It took a few weeks for this to come out, but he was supposedly fired. That was the official story. But what actually happened is he asked for his release when he said, I am not doing your transphobic bullshit, essentially. So, yeah, like, mad fucking respect to a white man who actually bothers to fucking stand up for people, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just gonna set that right there. I've got him in my
Like,
inventory.
he left the company, he abandoned a career, so I have a lot of respect for him there. Yeah, I think he'll find work again. He did well on the indies, and he'll keep doing well on the indies. But the whole thing, they're trying their hardest to set up trans women, trans people, but especially trans women as the bad guys. And that is straight up because Vince and Donald Trump are best friends. Like, for real, best friends. And
Linda's on the Small Business Council.
uh-huh.
I'm sorry, she's secretary to Small Business Secretary? Something along these lines.
I think so, and she's never actually been a part of a small business, so it doesn't make any sense.
No, she's run WWE, which is a fucking...
Massive business when they got there, and a significantly smaller business now.
Yeah. So to roll it back, China is fantastic. Or was. She's unfortunately passed on because that's just kind of what happens. But she's absolutely worth going. You can find like compilations of her best moments all along the Watchtower on YouTube and whatever. But no, there's not any furniture over here I need to fix, I don't think. Let's look at the pig arena though. But the one match that I think is the best place to look if you want to look at one thing is and this shows you precisely how against this Vince McMahon was, but she won the Intercontinental Championship, which is kind of their minor league belt. It's not the big belt, but it shows, hey, you've done something, you're on your way up, you're someone people should be paying attention to. She won it against Jeff Jarrett, who's an awful person, and I don't want to get into that. In what was called a good housekeeping match, where you were allowed to use weapons as long as they were things that could be found in a home.
Things found in Good Housekeeping magazine, specifically.
I guess, but then the finish was weird. Okay, so the finish was weird. There's a bunch of problems with the match itself, but listening to the people, listening to the audience, so unbelievably behind this woman, and hearing the entire crowd just explode when she won the match is an incredible thing.
And that was probably the moment that Vince decided he hated her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have we finished up everything? Let me have a look at the map, because I think we've... Nope. I'm hitting M to bring up the map like I'm in PUBG, but no. It's, yeah, we've fixed up all of this, so let's go over to our next island. I have to go and find that. It's very findable on, like a Daily Motion or something.
Nowadays, you can't really, like, modern WWE, you can't really look, or you can't really listen to the audience. You have to look closely.
Yeah.
Because they will silence cheers and boos when they don't want them, or they do want them. They'll try and make it sound and look as much like things are going the way they want as possible. They'll find the easiest marks and just stick them in the camera position so they're all you can see. Oh god, the Goldberg debacle.
Yeah.
Fucking Goldberg. had silent arenas that they would, like, part of his opening, like his opening has always depended on people chanting his name, which never really worked even in WCW, but it definitely didn't work on Raw.
No one was fucking excited for that.
There was, oh, the
Yeah,
best
Goldberg
bit.
was. I'm gonna go into it just a little bit.
Okay.
The basics. So Goldberg was a champion in World Championship Wrestling, which was WWE's competitor in the 90s to mid 2000s, until WWE eventually bought them out. And Goldberg was a big star at the time because he was
Sort of.
sort of. He was. It was a name a lot of people knew because he had the streak. Oh, hey, there's a boat right here. I can just take that. He was undefeated for over 400 matches or something. I don't know the exact count off the top of my head, but
Let me look that up.
that was his claim to fame. He was an undefeated monster. He came out, never lost, won the belt, defended it for 300 and some days, and then lost to Kevin Nash like an asshole.
Undefeated streak ended at an official count of 173-0 after 174 days as champion.
173, really? I thought it was higher than that.
Did too.
Oh, well. That's still a hell of an achievement. We're just gonna leave a whole bunch of boats here. That's a boat graveyard now.
It would be an achievement if there was any reason for him to have continually won like that, but it was just because it was written that way.
You're not wrong.
Like, he was, from what I hear from Kristen here, he was actually popular here in Oklahoma. He's from here. But everywhere I've lived, people just thought he was annoying.
Yeah.
Because he comes out, he beats up the characters people actually like, and then acts like he's some kind of superhero.
Yeah.
Like, he was not popular outside of his home state.
And that's kind of a problem. That's emblematic of the problem that WWE has generally, is that they kind of push old stuff. Like, okay, so the issue with Goldberg in WWE in 2017 is that it was bringing back a star that people didn't really care about that much. Everyone remembered Goldberg, but no one had super fond memories of Goldberg. Because, like Katie says, all of the fond memories of Goldberg is Goldberg coming out and beating up people you liked. And
they put him against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Another person no one likes.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar, MMA competitor, decided he was going to be, and then that didn't work anymore because he got busted for drugs, so he went back to WWE.
Only we don't think that's what happened.
Well,
like, I think that he just wanted his release from MMA, so he took the drug story as a way out, which absolutely fucked over his chance of ever having fans, because all of his fans in the first place were kids. And that's a betrayal.
Yeah, you don't want the kids to... That's not someone you want your kids to look up to, the guy who cheated to win with horse semen injections or whatever the fuck you do.
So he comes back, Brock Lesnar comes back, like, oh, well, I want to get the biggest star in history and have a feud with him and eventually beat him and everyone will love it. So he picks Goldberg.
It shows a severe lack of understanding of what people like.
Meanwhile, Goldberg, the one time that we heard the crowd actually chant Goldberg's name, they weren't chanting Goldberg, and it was hilarious because it took a solid minute before the audio guys realized that the crowd was chanting Oldberg, Oldberg, Oldberg.
And then the crowd sound just sort of slowly died out as someone turned a dial down on a microphone.
That was hilarious.
Yes. But Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar wasn't... It's the sort of thing that on paper would have been huge 5 years ago. but Goldberg is in his 60s, and I'm not saying that people in their 60s aren't valuable or can't be athletic. They absolutely can.
Look at The Undertaker.
Exactly, but
Fucking
Goldberg
incredible.
wasn't.
Uh-huh.
He tried to come back and he kept his shirt on like most of the time. And he had matches that were 15 seconds long because he would get winded if they were any longer.
Yeah, he was.
And
His,
they were,
what, 1 minute and 1 minute 36 seconds, I think, was the number.
that sounds about right, although I don't know for sure.
And he was exhausted by the end of it.
Which was mostly his like 5-minute walk to the ring, which is his intro.
While people don't chant his name.
While they pump in the sound of people chanting his name, yes.
While the camera tries to pan over sections of the audience which are excited, but mostly you just see people looking at their phones.
There's one or two people who were excited to see Goldberg. Not as many.
Not very many.
Did I get all of these? I'm pretty sure I got all of these. I'll have one last
And
round.
Lesnar's main claim to fame, aside from being written to win matches that he didn't deserve and didn't make sense for the current storyline, like, Lesnar's big claim to fame is that he goes in there, looks like shit, and hurts people. Like, the exact opposite of how Mick Foley described Big Van Vader's fighting style as looking incredible, looking like it hurts like shit, but quite simply doesn't. And Brock Lesnar goes in and does the exact opposite. He goes in there, falls all over people, and people get hurt.
Yeah, his matches look very ugly, which is kind of exciting. Like, it feels very real, and the reason for that is that it's very real, and because it's very real is in fact very goddamn dangerous.
Believe me, real fighting should not be entertaining to you. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I've taken a solid punch to the face.
Yeah,
that's not something that you should enjoy.
I'm gonna say it's something that maybe you should enjoy responsibly. Yeah, it is terrifying. But Brock Lesnar is still a name, and he's a big, huge white guy, and Vince likes that. So.
And he's got a dick tattooed on him.
And he has this fucking knife tattooed on his chest that is supposed to be one of those World War II trench knives with the brass knuckles as the handle, but it doesn't look like that. It looks just straight like a dick.
It doesn't look anything like what it's supposed to. Like, who was the artist?
Someone who didn't like Brock Lesnar, I presume. Oh, yep, these are bone too.
It's a dick. Yeah, did you look it up? It's absolutely a dick.
Oh yeah. It ain't nothing but a dick. Ain't nothing but a D thing.
Friggin' amazing.
For the other one. And that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for muting.
I think I muted that in time.
You did mute it in time.
I just let out the most horrific burp.
You might have been able to hear it on my microphone.
Yeah, see? It's a dick.
We were talking about something that put us onto that.
Brock Lesnar and hurting people.
Right. Right. So the short version is that WWE doesn't listen to its fans. And when I say they, I mean Vince McMahon. There are people at that company who know what the hell they're doing.
They even get to speak up occasionally. I mean, we had a good 8 months with literally 8 months with Shane and Stephanie in charge, and it was amazing. It was some of the best times that WWE has ever had. And Vince got jealous.
Yep. And took it all away, and they've just been horrible pretty much ever since.
Let me ask Annie. She's kind of a scholar of dicks.
All right.
Yeah, she says it's a dick.
Yeah, it's absolutely a dick. ain't no one arguing that it's a dick. Exactly, and that's the problem really, because he has commanding control of the stock, and he's going to until, as far as anyone knows, he dies.
He's a
And
narcissist and a manipulator, and cares much more about people sucking his dick than succeeding or helping anyone else succeed.
it's right between the pecs and pointed towards the face. Exactly. He's titty fucking his own tattoo, and you know, I'm not saying that that's not hot. What I'm saying is that he needs to quit saying it's a trench knife.
You know, I want to get slut tattooed on my lower back,
Sure.
but I'm not gonna pretend that it's a trench knife.
Sure.
Exactly. You do you, but own your truth. Andy's got this shit.
That's what's so cress about Andy, is that Andy gets it.
You are so crescent fresh.
I need to redo all of these, right? Yeah. Oh crap.
You know,
in
eat of
here
the meat.
too.
You know, smoke of the crack.
Yep, this is all effed.
At least the smell of crack is faded.
That is true.
Like, I knew these fucking neighbors were awful, shitty people, but I did not expect to smell crack coming from their house.
It's been a bad time. We need to cut down some more acacia trees. Thankfully, this is where I grow them. So yeah, short version, watch Chikara.
Yes. Chikara is awesome, and I really need to watch it from the beginning just to get all the storylines down.
They're real good and understand that the core of wrestling is telling compelling stories.
Being a dumb cartoon.
Right, and being a dumb cartoon, which is also what they are. None of these are up.
This is not a trench knight. Sorry, I just noticed that. That's very good.
Where's other Katie at?
Did you just say, where's the other Katie at?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know. I thought there was only one of me.
She must be gone. No, there's a bat.
Oh, okay.
There's a bat that hangs around my tree farm. But she's gone.
Aw. I didn't see a whole lot of bats this year in the backyard either.
There were a couple.
Get the full flock back, though. There's a big pack of about 400 bats that usually comes around and lives in our backyard every summer, but we only got the outliers of it this year.
Well, we appreciate being able to distract you. We're happy that you're here. We like talking with you. Even though we're kind of dominating the conversation with wrestling talk, which is something
Well, that's what he's thanking us for.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely don't get into most of WWE. If you want to watch WWE, watch, some of the early 90s stuff is absolutely worthwhile. Some of the stuff from the 70s and 80s is okay. The Attitude Era, if you go in taking it with a grain of salt and remembering that, yes, it has a lot of problems, but it's also where things started getting better, that's excellent. And that 8 months where Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon are in charge are fucking glorious.
Actually, none of that, and just watch NXT.
Yeah, or just watch NXT.
I wish I could watch NXT. NXT is their sort of farm league. It's where the kids they just hired are like putting on shows and working on their characters. And it's usually really good because they hire excellent talent so that other people can't have them. They're basically the New York Yankees of wrestling.
But then they get called up to Raw or SmackDown and put on the back burner indefinitely.
Yeah, that's pretty much the size of it.
Like Hunter,
NXT.
Paul, Triple H, he went on record saying he was furious at Vince calling up his talent and then not using them.
Yeah, but NXT has they have not, I don't think, come out and said it yet, but they do have a lesbian couple on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
They have Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, who are called the Iconic Duo, and everything about them says that they're lesbian, except they're very coded, right? To the point
kind of the same situation as Goldie and R-Truth were in.
that's already a vast improvement. And they have Velveteen Dream, who's I was afraid when they started debuting Velveteen Dream because he's kind of a Prince ripoff. He's like got this afro and glasses and is swathed in purple, and he's very, you can't see the hand motions I'm making right now. He's very floaty and touchy, we'll go with, but the character is actually really good on top of being very effeminate. That's what I'm gonna go with.
It's a good word.
It's a good word, but I don't know if it's the right word. It's a little more complicated than that, but it's not. The words I want aren't coming to me. Do I have gems in here? What?
Do you have holograms?
I have the gems and the holograms. Ooh, I even got an advancement off of that. How ya doing?
Hooray! Large chest. Huh.
That's, oh no, Sue didn't get that far.
Huh?
In Dark Souls, the joke is large chest ahead when you're in front of Gwendolyn because she's fucking 90 feet tall and has a rack.
That's good.
We are.
I would like to see that game. I would like to see that game get the engineering treatment it deserves because it is so lovely.
Mm-hmm. I love it myself. I understand why people have problems with it.
But do you understand that it's a flawless masterpiece?
Right, of course. I'm sorry, what was I saying? It's a flawless masterpiece, completely above any and all criticisms.
Yep.
What kind of monster would take this precious gift given to us by From Software and turn it into something cheap and tawdry?
It's all design decisions. All those clipping issues, all that falling through the floor and poorly placed monsters, that's all design decisions.
Yeah, it's exactly how it's supposed to go.
Nothing is accidental at all. That's exactly how game development works.
The way that rats stick to you as you wander around, the way that the havoc physics make them stick to you, that's a meta statement about death and how you take your kills with you, how it affects you on a deep emotional level.
I thought it was a statement about how rats are sticky.
Rats are also sticky, and that's not inconsiderable. Nope. I'm gonna need a lot more wood than this. That's what she said. Thank you.
Reminds me of called a Legend of Mana. Centaur gets turned to stone by a Lamaya.
Mm-hmm.
Starts shouting about how he's getting hard for her.
No.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. He dies permanently right there, by the way. So he gets his.
Oh, good. Well, there's one last one up there. I knew it wasn't. Come on, get down.
Fucking love Legend of Mana. That's a game that I really want to see get a PC remake. I think it's the best of the Mana Sword series.
I don't think it ever will. It's one of those things that's on like Square's back burner, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it never got to the same popularity as Secret of Mana.
Or I don't know. I guess the Secret of Mana remake is coming out, so if Legend of Mana does well, or that does well.
If it does well, we might actually get Seiken Densetsu 3. Oh crap, if they do a remake of Final Fantasy Adventure, it'll probably be the Sword of Mana version, which isn't as good. But Legend of Mana would be a great one to see on PC. SD3 was gold. SD3 was pretty good. I definitely think Legend of Mana overshadows it by a pretty wide margin. But my two favorites are Legend of Mana and Seiken Densetsu 1, which I had on my little Game Boy as Final Fantasy Adventure.
I liked Mystic Quest.
Hey, Mystic Quest has its charm. A lot of people say it's terrible, but I think they're just bitter.
For some of your opinion comes from playing it in your early 20s and never again since.
Which fan translation group did you play it from? Because there are 3 different translations of very, very varying quality. Not as bad as
I'll tell you
like
what, since we're talking, I'm gonna turn up the music in
Tales of
Minecraft a little bit.
Fantasia. All right. Not as bad as like Tales of Fantasia. Arshay fucks like a tiger.
What?
Yeah, that's from the Tales of Fantasia fan translation by Aeon Genesis.
Okay. Evangelion.
Fucking, yeah, let's just say that most people who were involved in those communities, the fan translation community, regret how they acted. And they will forever be remembered for the things they did and said as teenagers and the drama that they caused.
They will be ashamed of their words and deeds.
Yeah, there you go. Also, they created X-Death by not understanding how Romanization works, and it is, to this day, the name X-Death is included as Final Fantasy as kind of an in-joke at their expense. The only game that actually did it correctly, called him Exodus, was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. And that's because it was a very different team that did the translation for that one that wasn't necessarily familiar with the rest of the series and its tropes. Yeah, so now we have X-Death forevermore. Even in Final Fantasy XIV that Alice plays, they actually go out and call him X-Death. It's pretty incredible.
You have to love game programming humor.
Mm-hmm. And that, I believe that was also Aeon Genesis, so, you know, that's what those people will have on their heads for the rest of their lives. X-Death. I want her to get back into playing that game. I want to friggin' see what happens next. I know she got depressed and she hasn't gotten back into it since, but she seems to be doing a bit better now.
Into 14.
Yes.
I've enjoyed watching her playing it. I don't like playing MMOs for reasons, but watching her play Final Fantasy XIV has been adorable. Plus, if she gets back into it, she can play with Andy, who has his adorable Tarutaru boy.
That's true.
We're plowing through these, I think. I don't have a lot more to put together. This is actually kind of flown by.
Wow, we've been going for an hour.
We have been going for an hour, but I kind of expected this amount of work to take longer.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. You were real hype about Destiny 2 and its robot Nathan Fillions.
Hey. Destiny 2 is not an MMO. What are you talking about? not an MMO in the slightest. Just an open world, constantly online multiplayer game that is not an MMO. Shut up.
Right, of course. Obviously, it's not that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have implied that. That's on me, and that's my bad.
That was me role-playing as Activision Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard. Anyway, I'm not gonna swear at Activision Blizzard. I should swear at Activision Blizzard, but
They deserve it.
that's not what this stream is for.
No, this is a stream for swearing at Vince McMahon.
Yeah, clearly. This is my OC, Activision Blizzard. Do not steal.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Exactly. She has loot box powers and locks her more popular ultimate behind her stupid other ultimate.
Also, she locks things that were previously free behind microtransactions. Very good at that. It's her talent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call this good.
Likes, player tiers, dislikes, not monetizing everything.
If you'll excuse me for 1 second, I'm about to blow this nose. Someone's nose. I'll figure out who's later.
Mine. Yep, there goes my nose being blown. Just got right up in my face.
That's the sound it makes.
Yep.
I got a mouth made for that. Can't point to any specific thing in 14 or Diablo 2 that you don't like. You just pick them down and never put them back up.
Destiny 2, I assume.
Yes.
I also associate D2 with Diablo 2.
I had LAN. Look at this shit.
Literally played World of Warcraft since beta with only short sabbaticals. Clearly MMOs were once my thing. I used to play a game called Mabinogi, which was
Legend of the Overfiend.
Sure. It was a MMO, very action oriented, but at the same time very slow and methodical in its action. That was based on Irish mythology, which is funny because it was named after a Welsh book of stories, but you know. And you played like a creature called a Milesian, which exists outside of time, and it was really cool. And then one day I stopped playing and I could never pick it up again, so I know the feeling.
Exactly, the bloody English. They're just gonna appropriate all the other indigenous cultures. Is there anything in that lighthouse? There shouldn't be. Let's check it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could try playing. All I can recommend if you do want to get into 14 still is try playing it with Alice, you know. Might be more fun with friends. Other than that, you know, it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Both games had a free trial, so you're not out cash or anything. It's just baffling. Yeah. It's like there's lots of games that I used to play obsessively that I just haven't looked at since, I don't know, I haven't played Meat Boy. I played Super Meat Boy excessively, and I still think it's a wonderful game. But I've tried to pick it up once or twice over the last couple years because I bought it on a Steam sale. And it's like, I still recognize it as a good game, but it's not something that's grabbing me. I don't want to sit and try and plow through these platforming challenges for an hour
Yeah,
like
I
I
get
had
that.
been.
I get that way with like Sonic Adventure 1, which I played obsessively when it came out, and now I think it's just like it's not exactly the same because you still think Super Meat Boy is a good game. I think Sonic Adventure 1 is a bad game, and I can't get into it, which is funny because Sonic Adventure 2 is a bad game, but I absolutely love it still.
I was about to say, you're on record as saying Sonic Adventure 2 is a dumb bad game that you love.
Oh yeah. But Sonic Adventure 1 just does not have enough going for it for me to sit down and play. Sonic Adventure 2 is so bad, but I fucking adore it.
Having just watched a long playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2, I kind of have to agree that it's bad. You're allowed to like what you like,
Uh-huh. And I do.
but
But I'm not gonna pretend that it's not a dick.
like my memories of Sonic Adventure 2 was that it was a bad game, and I was still
Mhm.
surprised of how bad it was.
It's not a trench knife, it's a dick.
Yeah, it's Cinepass a trench knife.
Mm-hmm.
That was a horrible French accent, by the way. I don't think I got any of those words right.
But I guess that's the difference between Sonic Adventure 2 and, like, Dark Souls fan base. The Sonic Adventure 2, there's very few people who will try to claim it's anything but terrible. Dark Souls gameplay is bad, and the fan base will never, ever admit that. But, you know, it's a wonderful thing to enjoy games that you like, whether they're objectively good or not. It's only worrisome when people start trying to claim something is a trench knife instead of a dick.
Why?
It all comes back around to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's the Ouroboros of this stream.
Let's do this. That's an actual Brock Lesnar quote,
Yeah.
by the way.
I don't know why you're measuring collarbones. I'm not a hundo that I want to know why you're measuring collarbones.
As soon as you come back, I want to find that quote just so you can hear how ridiculous it is. Okay, you're back. I'm going to switch over to line in instead of mic for a second so you won't hear me, but I'm going to play that Brock Lesnar quote for you.
It's gonna be a little loud.
I'll turn the volume way down,
Thank you.
so hopefully it won't be too loud.
It's worth this amount of weight. Your wife is clothes shopping and can't quite reach behind herself. That makes more sense than you being some sort of bone collector. Here we go.
Do this!
Did you hear that?
I'm certain the stream heard that. Yeah. Like, there's a reason that Brock Lesnar does not actually do his own promos anymore. And it's more or less just that. That's the reason.
All right. Wasn't that fucking magical?
Mm-hmm. And now you know the meme. You know one of those secret wrestler handshakes that we all have.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun to see how people will type that one out. What is written on the ground here?
Oh, what?
What's written on the ground here?
Oh, what is written on the ground is the name of the town,
Ah,
which is Dry Dock.
gotcha. I thought it said duck.
Oh, I thought you said ducks.
My bad. That's on me.
Realize I'm totally going to be saying that at the start of the match during tomorrow's Overwatch stream. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to be a virus in your mind in this way. I've always
Let's
wanted to go viral.
do this.
I mean, I also stole Fabulous Born Killers from you, so I think that makes us even.
Now, the weird thing for me about Brock Lesnar, since we're back on the subject,
Sure, why not?
is I did not goddamn remember Brock Lesnar when I came back from not watching wrestling for a long time, and he was a major
I'm sorry,
part.
give me just 1 second,
Okay.
because I have turned this music up far too loud. Nope. I'm working on it. It's a subtle balancing act, streaming.
That better?
Yes, that's good.
All right. So anyway, I did not remember who the hell Brock Lesnar was coming back after quitting right at the end of the Attitude Era. And Kristen went back to videos of matches that I remembered very well and said, that's Brock Lesnar. I was like, what the fuck? I remember this match. I do not remember this guy at all. Because he is the most goddamn generic non-character you can fucking imagine.
He is a big guy.
That's his whole character. He doesn't, you know, they say one personality trait.
Well, I
Brock,
wanna-
Brock Lesnar has 0.
Yeah. I love this rant you're on, but I do want to stop and show everyone this.
Okay.
I'm very proud of it. This is my topiary garden.
For it to come up on my screen. Oh, that is cool.
He boots too big for he got dang personality. Yep.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I took a lot of time.
Huh? Paid off. So,
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I also
like, he
want to
had...
introduce people to Maribel.
Now, obviously, I was a kid. I was a young teenager at the height of The Rock's career. So The Rock was one of my favorite wrestlers. And, you know, he is a great wrestler. No denying that. No one's gonna fucking deny that. Unless they're stupid. The Rock is a great wrestler. He's a great entertainer.
These
But-
shouldn't be this.
Brock Lesnar, why is that a present balanced on top of a tiny tree?
Because it's another broken thing.
Uh-huh.
This should have been a very palatial chair, and instead of that is 2 Christmas trees with presents balanced on them.
Merry Christmas from Unknown. So anyway, Brock Lesnar had several major feuds with The Rock, with Steve Austin, and with Kurt Angle. 3 of my favorite wrestlers of the era. And I still did not fucking remember him. That is how much he mattered, and that is how much he stood out. Why he still has a career is fucking beyond me.
He still has a career because he was an MMA champion, right? He was a legitimate fighting, because UFC is totally legitimate fighting.
Yeah, because UFC totally isn't just wrestling with the kayfabe still up.
Not even a little bit. It's he was a UFC champion, and that has traction with some people.
Oh man, that's
I'm not
Reminded
certain
me of
what
that
dev
fight at
null
the-
means.
what?
I'm not certain what dev null means, but it is very fucked.
That reminds me so much of that. That makes me think of that fight ending, like hardest hits compilation that was playing at Buffalo Wild Wings when we took Alice there,
Oh yeah.
where the guy kicks the other guy in the head, and he's so shocked when it connects. Like, oh shit, that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, he's obviously did not intend to hit the guy, and he just hits him once and knocks him the fuck out, and he has to be taken away to the hospital. If UFC were not scripted dancing, just like wrestling, that's how every fight would end, within seconds. But he looked terrified when he realized he'd actually kicked a guy in the head. And in a way, it was kind of glorious.
Yeah, all of those UFC knockout collections are pretty much like that. It's all either... We have way too many coffee tables. I don't know what the hell happened.
All people getting injured and people looking terrified that they've just injured someone.
A little bit, yeah. I do like the idea of game objects being banished to the Shadow Realm.
I like the idea of game objects being turned into tiny Christmas trees with the presents at the top. I call them inverse Christmas trees.
That's also good. That didn't really occur to me that is not where the presents go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What was in the presents anyway? Because it said Merry Christmas from Unknown.
Oh, I don't think I got anything out of them. It just said Merry Christmas.
Oh.
I went shopping for Legend of Mana on PlayStation Store, and now I've been forced to remember the Blood Rain was a thing that happened.
Oh god. I had an ex who was obsessed with Blood Rain, insisting she was some kind of crazy feminist icon.
Me too.
Oh god, we had the same ex.
I don't think so. She's
she's a redheaded chick wearing a ribbon who you can see all of her guns at once.
Mm-hmm. She's what's the Penny Arcade joke? They had a really good had a really good thing, and it's not coming to me. It was like they were just running down the fact that she's like every fucking trope. She's a vampire secret agent who fights Nazis.
The Y is silent, is that the right one? From 2002, wow.
That sounds about right.
Find the link to the actual comic from this day. I've landed on Tycho's rant.
You should just be able to click the comic button at the top right and have it come up.
Changed the whole outline of their site since the last time I was here. Like an RSS, they have an RSS feed? No one uses RSS feeds anymore.
I use RSS feeds.
Personal problem.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually see a comic button at the top right.
See, we all had the same X.
Oh, strip. Okay, there's a text link. Here we go. I think Blood Rain sounds pretty good. Which one was that again? Blood Rain's the story of a half-vampire secret agent woman who fights Nazis, obviously. I thought she was a half-Nazi vampire agent who fought secret women. Well, I guess it's a good start, but they should go all the way. Give her a robot arm, throw in some space combat, make her collect lumber or some shit. Pay reviewers to call the whole thing a Halo killer. Halo was fantastic. Just push the buttons, Register Biscuit.
At least for your web. Yeah, see, Andy uses RSS feeds, and Andy's much better at computers than I am.
Yeah, I haven't used an RSS feed in a good 5-10 years, so.
RSS feeds are the only way I remember that Ogoloff goes live.
Like they're just not a real popular thing anymore, so. I was making a joke.
It's not Web 2.0 enough for you?
Not actually angry that people are using RSS feeds.
I didn't think you were angry.
Oh, I think you thought I would. I can't even talk. I was trying to make a joke there, and then I realized that it wasn't going to be funny, and then I just started stumbling over my words.
These ones still work. Oh, no, they're not. That's a cabinet now. Whatever.
But yeah, Blood Rain was really bad. We can all agree on that.
I think we, yes, can all agree on Blood Rain was bad. Did you play the GBA one?
I did not play the GBA one.
It also was bad, but in a different way.
I mean, that's how a lot of GBA, can't call them ports because they're not remotely ports. How a lot of GBA versions were. Just as bad, but in a different way.
It could be worse. It could be QR codes. Yeah.
QR codes were a thing for like 8 minutes.
I was about to say, I remember when everyone kind of thought QR codes were going to be the thing that was going to happen.
I mean, it made sense. It made some
Did it?
sense because it was a way to easily interact with the real world with your phone.
Yeah, it was very augmented reality, right? Back when those were the buzzwords we were all using.
Mm-hmm.
QR codes, the 8-track of digital interface.
Exactly. That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's really good, yes. Let's drop you. And do I have another boat out here, or am I going to be forced to make a third boat?
Oh, I just got doggy kisses.
Aw, that's adorable.
Just woke up and looked a little worried, and then he gave me a kiss, and now he's fine.
Doge.
Sleepy. Ashton's a sleepy dog.
I disagree. I respectfully disagree with your opinion that doggy kisses are the best kisses.
Doggy kisses. She doesn't like doggy kisses. She's some kind of weirdo.
Yeah, apparently.
I love doggy kisses because they are like this pure signal of just absolute love and affection that very little else can ever hope to match.
Okay. I'll just take my kisses and fuck off then, I guess. I am taking this personally.
Hey, sweetie.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be jealous of the dogs.
I know I'm not supposed to be jealous of the dogs, but the heart wants what it wants.
I love your kisses too.
I know you do. Alright, we have 2 last places to fill out.
It's a multiple way tie. Dog kisses are certainly up there.
We got 2 last joints that we need to fill out. Where the hell are we right now? We're over
Holy shit.
here somewhere? Yeah.
Just pull a rowboat out of your pants?
Yeah. No, I'm just happy to see you. I'm curious how this is going to go over. But we're on our way to Pony Island. Exactly. Why are you dressed in a tuxedo? It's after 9 p.m., Lemon. I'm not a farmer.
What are you? Some kind of lemon-stealing whore?
I mean, yes. So, here's Pony Island.
Yes. Yes! That was a pretty good brain, right?
That was an alright brain, yeah. You're talking about the Maurice LaMarche brain, yeah?
Yes. Not the gadget brain, who sounds like this.
He makes rough noises.
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Blaine. But, well, we're gonna find an open to 2-part this time night. I panicked. I couldn't think of a Pinky quote for a second.
Mm. I think so, Brain, but it's still chafed from the last time.
You fool! They don't let us talk about that on this channel.
What I love is that when he says it's still chafed from the last time, he looks down at his crotch.
Sure. You know, animators need to have fun too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dirtiness happens on Animaniacs.
No, no, no. Fingerprints. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was explained to me by one of the writers that the reason that they got away with so much is they'd put in two dirty jokes. One would be the one that got in, and another one would be so off the wall dirty that it was guaranteed to be caught and thrown out. And so the censors would be like, all right, you can have this lesser dirty one in. We're going to make a deal. You can have this lesser dirty one in so long as you take out this really horrible one. That's just how they'd get away with putting in the jokes they actually wanted.
Yeah, it's like the reverse of the compliment sandwich.
Uh-huh. You make them see the horrible thing so they think they're getting one over on you.
To this day, you do that with meeting agenda items. It's not a bad play.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh my god, we have so much Acacia wood right here. That's good, because we need all of it. We need all of this wood. We need so much of this wood that we're going to dump other stuff that I want to carry.
Makes people feel like they're getting away with something, huh?
Yeah, it's the Rick Santorum. That's not his name. What's the name of the
Rick.
guy from Pawn Stars?
Rick Sanchez.
Yeah, it's Rick Sanchez from Pawn Stars. That's his thing. Is that sometimes you're bartering with someone and you have to just let them feel like they won.
Sometimes you gotta just make them feel like they won, even if they're fucking stupid, Morty.
You know, we've started this as a joke, but now I really actually want to see Rick and Morty Pawn Stars crossover.
Yes. Lord.
It's like regular Lord, but more tea.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? I don't know what I can give you for this piece of literal shit you brought to me, but let me call my literal piece of shit guy on the phone, and he'll tell us what this literal piece of shit is worth. Hey, Grandpa Rick.
Yeah, what is it, Morty?
I've got a literal piece of shit here, Grandpa Rick, that I need you to look at.
Why would I look at a literal piece of shit, Morty?
You're a literal piece of shit guy.
Shut the fuck up. I ain't no literal piece of shit guy. I'm our science guy, Morty.
I can't think of anywhere to go with that would make it funny.
Well, it's Rick and Morty, you know, it's only funny to smart people anyway, so
That's
we're kind of at
true.
a disadvantage.
True. You know, we just don't have high enough IQs to understand it. Well, I'm glad you have a high enough IQ to understand the complexities of that humor, Andy.
I swear to God, I put down like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm just gonna go fix the furniture and then fuck off.
I also headed to bed because it's late, but that was an excellent note to go out on. Hey, well, thanks for coming
yeah.
by.
Exactly. Thank you so much for stopping in. Minecraft IKEA is almost done, except it's worse in here than I remember, and that's a real son of a bitch. I hope you have a good night. This is...
Another stream, another night.
What's this voice?
Oh, something creepy maybe?
That's not... I thought maybe you were Nick Nocturning, but that wasn't that.
Nasally to be Nick Nocturne. Maybe it's a nasal Nick Nocturne.
That's so many ends. You need to back up off these ends.
But without the ends, how could I? I got no punchline.
Let me hold some ends. I'll
I
hang you
must
back
be
on
tired.
the first, my brother.
How many ends are you on?
About 9 or 10, my dude. You've heard that, right?
Heard what?
Oh god, it's called like ghetto slang for white people. A Ebonics lesson. It's really bad.
I have not heard that.
And it was something that was on the radio when I was younger. It's just like it's just a very, very Caucasian sounding man saying things. I had real tables in here. They're
Such
all
as,
gone.
that is whack, yo.
Yeah, it's shit like that. It's very it's kind of not okay now that I'm thinking deeper about it. So yeah, I shouldn't have brought it up. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Alrighty.
Oh, why are you made of different woods? Why are you like this? Let's get rid of the ASEA sapling. I don't need any of that. Actually, do I have stuff in here? I have stuff in here. Do I have good stuff in here? Not fucking really?
You have a shovel?
I do have a shovel. It's got Silk Touch.
Ooh, what's that do?
Silk Touch allows you to get a piece of... get a block in exactly the form that it comes out in. And I needed that at the time because... Here, let me show you the palace. We've got this... Just quit jumping. Thank you.
Auto jump.
It's not even auto jump. It's just my keyboard again. But we
Oh.
have the palace over here. And I spent a while coming up with the idea that we would have the walls and then the actual tower, but then have the insides be all like this with the flowers and stuff. And the thing about that is that you can't actually get grass to grow like this.
Oh.
Grass needs a grass block next to it, or at least connected to it by other dirt blocks to grow.
Uh-huh.
And we're in a desert.
Yeah, so you'd have to have a very long line of grass to do it that way.
And I didn't feel like that, so instead I got a Silk Touch shovel after a lot of hammering and fucking around. And there's a little space, you can see it just beyond there, that dirt pile over there.
Yeah.
Where I just got a couple of grass bricks and chunked them out and then brought them over here and let them spawn that way.
Ah, pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. I really like the way this ended out. I like the way I designed these houses. They're very squat. The family room's big, but the bedrooms are quite small because you're only in there when you're sleeping, really. It's a place that lives out,
Yeah.
right, on the streets and in like big rooms, and I really enjoy that. And then I like these like shutters that I put on in case there's a sandstorm.
Yeah.
Not that there's sandstorms in Minecraft, but that was the idea.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Don't.
Dude.
Yep.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I don't know what I thought was going to happen.
Well, you said there was no sandstorm, so I'm fixing it.
I think that got my stream muted actually.
Yeah, no, it sounded so much like.
No. I'm saying when I built this initially, I think I played Sandstorm by Darude as like a joke because it was when it's when I was using, it's when I was doing the Minecraft streams early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and so I wasn't speaking because I didn't want to wake you up because you were still asleep,
Yeah.
and I would just play music and type whatever I was doing into chat.
Uh-huh.
But so yeah, I just played music and I played Darude Sandstorm, and that was the first thing I got muted for, I think.
Aw. Well,
Why?
hopefully I don't sound so much like the original song that it gets muted again.
I don't know. It's gonna be
Do-do-do-do-do.
pretty close. Don't tempt fate.
Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do-do-do.
I know Darude Sandstorm.
I know the rude sandstorm. Why do I have an English accent? I am from Mexico.
I don't even fucking know anymore.
Talk about whitewashing.
It's bad.
Uh-huh.
That's that's me talking about whitewashing.
He's not only supposed to be Latino, he's a fucking luchador.
Yeah, I know. That makes him the best Batman villain.
Mm-hmm. And then they gave him this weird English accent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just Thomas Hardy, like, not wanting to do an accent.
Uh-huh.
That's who
Not
played him,
the
right?
right guy for the role.
That's who played him, right? I didn't
Tom
fuck that
Hardy?
up.
Yeah, I think so. It's, he's not the right guy for the role. At all.
Did I? Yeah. So there's these two, and then...
There's been so many better people to have played Bane, mostly in cartoon series.
Yeah, who played Bane in the Batman and Robin? Because that was a bad Bane.
I don't know. Let me look that up.
But it kind of wasn't designed to be a good Bane.
Uh-huh. Well, nothing was designed to be good in Batman and Robin. Diego. Alignment. Bad. Thanks. He was portrayed by Jeep Swenson as Bane.
I'm sorry, you're saying Jeep,
Yes.
like the car.
Yes.
Like the car
And
is
Michael
called a
Reed
Jeep.
McKay when he was playing Antonio Diego.
All right.
Swenson is an American wrestler. That is the whitest motherfucker I have ever seen. Like, period.
I mean, he's under a mask.
Yeah, but you can still see how white he is. But now you see his face, he is so white.
Let's see. Jeep Swenson. Let's see if I've ever seen him wrestle before.
Who does he wrestle for? Does it say?
Roberts, I'm looking him up now. It doesn't say on that page. Swenson was born in San Antonio, son of Patricia Maxine and Robert Alexander Swenson. Married to Aaron Hillsman. The couple had a daughter named Kaylee. Wrestled for WCCW in '87 and '88 for under manager Gary Hart.
Really?
Main feud was with Bruiser Brody, who was wrestling as the masked Red River Jack at the time.
Really?
Another guy I don't remember.
That's a hell of a pedigree.
According to Swenson, he had the largest biceps in the world at the time. He was billed as being from South Africa for some reason. Of course he was. Swenson returned to wrestling for a match at WCW's Uncensored pay-per-view in '96.
Oh my god, that's the worst WCW pay-per-view that isn't Slamboree 2000.
Yep. Formed as a member of the Alliance to End Hulkamania. It was, oh my god, he's the final solution.
Oh,
Remember that
no.
fucking
Yes, I
clusterfuck?
do. And
Oh
that,
my god.
oh
And then
my,
they had to rename him the Ultimate Solution.
they sure did. God damn it, Vince Russo.
Vince Russo claimed to have been unaware that the final solution was the name Adolf Hitler gave to his plan to kill the Jews.
Right. Of course he did. He's lying. But of course that's the thing he would say.
Yep. The Alliance it's not exactly like knowledge that everyone didn't learn in the fucking 4th grade.
Right.
The Alliance consisted of the Dungeon of Doom, the Four Horsemen, the Ultimate Solution, and Z Gangsta.
Yep.
He boxed as an amateur middleweight and later had a short career as a professional. But oh my god, that's where I fucking recognized him from, though.
From being Bane.
Oh, from being the Ultimate Solution.
Right.
Bane, you never see his face.
Oh, right, obviously, because he's under the hood.
Won his first 2 bouts by knockout, but his 3rd fight was stopped in 1 round after he was knocked down twice by Frankie Garcia in his pro debut. 6'4", 405-pound Swenson appeared as pit fighter Lug Wrench Perkins in the '89 Hogan film No Holds Barred. Yeah, seen that too.
That's the one with Mr. T, right?
Yes, I believe so. I also played James Caan's bodyguard Bledsoe in Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler film Bulletproof.
That-
Ouch.
That's not even familiar to me.
Oh, it's not good.
It doesn't sound good.
Think about it. It's Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler on the same movie.
Damon Wayans was Blank Man. That's a good movie. She said to stony silence. Shouting to fill the void in this suddenly judgmental space.
Oh my god. I've never seen Blank Man. It might be really good.
You've never seen Blank Man? It's a weird bird.
But wow, Bulletproof isn't even. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay, so Blank Man. Blank Man is picture Kick-Ass, right?
Uh-huh.
Except,
Okay, so a bad movie.
sure, but picture Kick-Ass if it were a better movie and the main character was Steve Urkel, only grown up.
No, I can dig that. Actually sounds very entertaining.
Yeah, he's a self-made superhero. He's a nerd boy played by Damon Wayans. Is superhero like what's the word I want? The thing I'm thinking is kryptonite, but I want a more generic version of that.
Weakness?
Yeah, thank you. His superhero weakness is that he can't be around attractive women. He just goes "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh," like a lamb that's someone's tearing the balls off of. It's weird. It's a really weird movie, but I like it a lot.
Oh man. So Swenson died in '97 from heart failure. 40 years old. Hulk Hogan, Davey Boy Smith, and James Caan all gave eulogies at his funeral, followed by a final measure of his biceps and cremation. God damn it.
What? What? You can't. What?
I just have to point out that at the end of that, it does say citation needed.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure that's made up.
I don't know if that's made up.
It does sound like something crazy enough to happen with a professional wrestler's funeral.
Yeah, it's like one of those secret wrestler traditions that you don't hear about. Like how wrestlers say thank you every time they are pinning their opponent. That might be something I was told that isn't actually true. I want to believe in my heart that it is. I've heard it from multiple people. Multiple people who I don't think have a reason to lie.
But they may have a reason to be wrong.
Well, no, like wrestlers.
Ah, okay.
Like I've heard The Rock say that in a candid interview he was giving about his debut, and I think I've heard Seth Rollins say that.
Ah,
Again, it could just be I could be extrapolating information incorrectly, or it could just be a lie,
might be an in-joke.
or it might be an in-joke. And Kizarni, but you don't know who Kizarni is.
Is that like the an incarnation of LimeWire?
I mean, not wrong, but no.
Because that's what it sounds like.
No, he's a carnival man. He was in WWE for just a hot second,
Ah,
and then wasn't in WWE anymore. So let's do this. This is going to be our last project before we cut the stream off, because there's this fucking thing. And I've hated it pretty much ever since I built it. You can kind of see the difference between the cobblestone and the andesite, but I want a different color in here so that it actually pops and looks the way I wanted it to in the fucking first place. So we're just going to cut all of that out and replace it with this terracotta. Since we've got the shit, we might as well use it.
well, if you are on the last part of this, I think I'm gonna go feed the dogs.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Love you, baby.
I love you too. Don't worry about that, Buzz. It's fine. Nothing's breaking into your home. Why would you think that? There's not a giant bee trying to wedge its way into your ears. You must be imagining things. Oh, you awful bastard. Okay. So very quickly, let's make a new pickaxe. There's no good reason why the "that's my name, don't wear it out" thing should be working on me in 2017 current year argument, but yes, it is because my wife is adorable. Alright, that's that out of the way. I kind of wish this were red, but meh, fuck it. I don't have enough red terracotta to make this symbol work, and I don't want to, like, go out of my way to fix it, or to make more, so we're just going to call this good. I wonder why it's pointed differently. I wonder why that's a thing. Someone could probably tell me, but I don't actually care that much. So this has been the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, all those people who did join us. We had a good amount of viewers in the middle there when we were talking about Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. We appreciate you stopping in. If you enjoy anything you've seen or heard, sure. You can hit the follow button. That would be cool of you. Or just keep tuning in. I say hit the follow button. That's kind of not going to be a thing going forward. There's going to be some changes to the way I stream. We'll talk about that later once things are a little more concrete. But for right now, just keep coming back. Keep liking the streams. I enjoy having all of y'all in here. You can see me do this live. I'm at twitch.tv/AKAHailing. You can see that down there at the bottom along with my socials at Twitter and Mastodon, also at AKAHailing. And tomorrow, the hell are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's PUBG, right? Tomorrow's your birthday. Is tomorrow your birthday? I wish you had told me. That is something we will discuss when I'm not on stream. Yep. So maybe I won't be streaming tomorrow. We'll figure it out. So until the next time I see you, I want you to stay safe.